2008. Prior to joining the IRS, he worked for the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, the private sector regulator of all securities firms doing business in the United States. The IRS collects approximately $2.4 trillion in annual tax revenue that funds most government operations and public services. Welcome.
Thank you, Chairwoman Velasquez. I very much appreciate being at this hearing. Ranking Member Graves, other members of the committee. I'm happy to have an opportunity today to testify about the Internal Revenue Service's efforts to assist America's small businesses, particularly during the current economic downturn. As President Obama recently observed, our recovery in the present and our prosperity in the future depend upon the success of America's small businesses and entrepreneurs. I believe, and I've been very public in this belief, that the IRS has two equally important parts of its mission: service and enforcement. We need to provide world-class service to the small businesses, the individuals who are out there trying to wrestle with an incredibly complex tax code, and we have to have enforcement programs for those who aren't paying their taxes across the spectrum. I've started two small businesses personally in my career, and therefore I'm acutely aware of the many problems confronting a small business, from struggling with the economic environment to securing a loan to hiring employees to getting sales to the obligation to pay their taxes. I've included information in my written testimony about a number of issues. Let me highlight a couple of things we're doing now to try to help small businesses during this recession. It's inevitable during these kinds of times that taxpayers may fall behind in their taxes. As the IRS Commissioner, I'm very committed to striking the right balance between collecting the revenues needed to fund the government and using all the tools that we have available to work with small businesses who find themselves unable to pay. I've told our people, from the most senior to the people working on the front lines, that we need to be flexible, principled, and that we need to empower all of our people to use their judgment when they're working with taxpayers. As the economy got worse last summer, I sat down with our senior team and said, what can we do for taxpayers, and where are we going to find stress in our system between us and taxpayers? And we did a number of things that benefit small businesses. Let me take you through a few. First, our employees were reminded of their ability to offer installment agreements at the end of an audit where taxpayers are having difficulty satisfying their obligations to pay immediately. Second, I gave IRS employees more flexibility to suspend collection actions in certain hardship cases. Third, we gave employees more flexibility to work with previously compliant taxpayers in an existing installment agreement who can't pay because of an economic hardship. Fourth, taxpayers unable to meet the payment terms of an accepted offer and compromise are now being informed of the options available to them to help them avoid a default. And fifth, we're speeding up levy releases by easing requirements on taxpayers who request expedited levy release. Turning to the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act that you mentioned, Madam Chairwoman, the IRS announced last month that small businesses with deductions exceeding their income in 2008 can use a new net operating loss tax provision to get a refund of the taxes paid in prior years. This new provision enables small businesses with a net operating loss in 2008 to offset losses against income earned and allows a carryback of up to 5 years instead of the normal 2 years. This could throw a lifeline to struggling businesses with an infusion of cash. I've made sure that we have the resources to move quickly to get cash into the hand of small businesses when they apply for such a refund. We're going to be monitoring this on a daily basis. And if we find a backlog or any clogging in the system, I'm going to apply more resources so that we can implement this smoothly and seamlessly. Madam Chairwoman, the IRS is always looking for ways to better serve taxpayers through outreach and education. As you said, a lot of small businesses don't have all the high-priced lawyers and accountants and other sort of service providers, and so we're acutely aware that we need to be directly helping small businesses. Last year, we participated in over 2,600 meetings with small businesses, reaching directly 142,000 small businesses through our outreach efforts. We hold national and local small business forums to have an avenue of communication with the IRS, At the local level, we have special business units that work with chambers of commerce, small business development centers, better business bureaus, and other groups that assist small business owners. We also work with the Small Business Administration to get the word out to taxpayers. We're also very focused that we're never going to be able to get to all the taxpayers ourselves, and so we try to work with associations to reach taxpayers. Finally, we recognize that we're not going to be able to reach everybody through direct contact. We have phone-in forms. People can call our 1-800 number if they have questions or concerns. We also have an e-newsletter for small businesses with 140,000 small businesses subscribing. Let me just say that, again, I want to thank you for the opportunity to testify about what we're doing to help small businesses as we're all trying to be on this road to recovery. We've made some progress, but I'm a believer that institutions can always get better, and you have my assurance I'm going to push the institution to work with small businesses. I look forward to working with you, other members of the committee, and the staff to make sure that this great engine of economic growth and prosperity of the country continues.